Hey guys, woo! Hey guys, what's going on? Joe back here with another NHL review. Hopefully, this is the last time we got four damn playoff games on the same day. Cause, woo! Oh God, these videos are getting out of hand. They're getting crazy, doing so many of them. So, I'm just gonna tell you now: drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Because I'm really tearing my heart out for this one, especially because I don't really want to talk about the Bruins from last night. But that's where we are starting. All around an all right game from the Bruins. We knew Toronto was going to come out swinging, and of course they did. They got a very early goal because of an icing that probably. I mean, it was a good call, but Carlo should not have made that an icing. You know what I mean? Like he just had to go forward a little bit more. Um, but unacceptable from the Bruins in that period. Was it two shots? I think it was two shots. I think it was two, and if it wasn't two, I think they got up to maybe four. Late in the first, it was definitely two. So we knew they were going to come out swinging. We held them to one goal. Unacceptable. Other than that, obviously we scored. Lucky bounce off of Maroon's skate. I forget who was trying to clear it, but bounce off that, sent it right to the slot for I don't even remember who scored for Freddie for Frederick, and Frederick gets one past Wall. That's the only one we're getting past Wall. Wall was, how do I say it, a brick wall. All night. He had some great saves later on. There was one point where Freddie should have got a second if he had elevated the puck. He would have point blank in front of the net. Um, Pasta invisible again. He had a really bad turnover in the defensive end, then made up for it by eating the whole shot that they got off. I forget, was it Marner's slap shot with Nylander? It was Marner or Nylander with a really hard shot, and Pasta blocked it because he's like, "Oh, I know that was my fault." That was a good Pasta impression, right? Swayman again stands on his head. Um, I think the Bruins ended up having better chances than Toronto throughout the rest of the game. Obviously, they outshot us, and the reason I say obviously is because they always do, because the Bruins don't know how to get shots on the net, which is what I said we needed to do. But the chances for the Bruins again were outstanding, and while Rick walled us early into overtime. And I think the biggest complaint I have about the Bruins was they could not finish their shots tonight. They had them. They had them there, especially in overtime. It was a short overtime, like less than 5 minutes, and we had two to three like insane scoring chances, and we just weren't able to get the shot off. Whether we whiffed on the puck or didn't connect with all of it or send it where we wanted it to go. We were not putting the shots on Wall. So there were a few times that we were able to, but there were so many other opportunities to do so. And if one of those opportunities had gone in, this series is over, and I'm a lot happier right now. So there's that. Um, so we take out Beecher for Brazo. Obviously, we want to get more physical. But didn't work. Same with Grizzly for Shattenkirk. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Monty. I don't know why you're moving around the line so much, especially when we have a 3-1 lead. It's unnecessary. We won two road games. By the way, that means the road team is 4 for 5 now in the series. Don't know why you're moving around your lines this much. You shouldn't be doing it. And honestly, if we blow this lead, you're out of here. You are gone. Imagine getting 65 wins in a season and being gone the next year. Like, it's unacceptable. Us Bruins fans having flashbacks right now. Game one, convincing win. Game two, lost at home. Game three and four, wins on the road. Game five, overtime loss. Dude, it's the same script, like down to a T. Like even closer than just us blowing a 3-1 lead. But let's see what else we got here. Oh, okay. The highlight of the night was definitely Jack Edwards saying, Pat Maroon has a bee in his bonnet. And I should know, because I can tell when he has. I've seen him with a bee in his bonnet before. So Jack Edwards refers to his obvious feud with Pat Maroon, calling him fat a few years ago. That was a highlight of my night, at least. I was like, my jaw was. I don't even know if I was laughing. Maybe my jaw was just dropped so much. Yep. Oh, okay. So everyone, and I do mean everyone, is attacking the refs this game being anti-Bruins. Um, there was one call where they were anti-Leafs, and everyone thinks it was anti-Bruins. It was when Marchand also went to the box. So here is what happened. Marchand was all over. I forget who it was in the faceoff circle, and then someone retaliated, and both got called to the box. I remember when I watched it, I didn't see the initial play by Marchand, and I just saw the retaliation, and I was screaming. I was like, "What the?" Then I saw Martian should have gone the second that he started doing what he was doing. And that creates a 5-on-4 for the Leafs. And instead, they let it go and blew that whistle so late that they allowed the Leafs to retaliate and then threw the Leafs in the box as well. So I stand with the Leafs on that call. I don't know if they were calling it BS. I'll call it BS for you guys. But other than that, we only had one power play. There was a really clear hook on Geeky from Labushkin. I have no idea how that doesn't get called. That gets called 10 out of 10 times, but 1 for 1, right? They missed a call for the Leafs. They missed a call for the Bruins. Can't complain about the refs making us having us lose this game. I don't know what to say. The refs did not lose this game for us. We lost fair and square. However, I think that just needs to be said because a lot of people are talking about it. So we'll see if we try to throw in Forbert or Patra. Fuck, I hope we don't. Maybe against the Panthers, sure. What you were doing works in this series. Get Shattenkirk back out there. Get Beecher back out there. Finish it the way you started it. Um, let's see. Yep, William Nylander, double-digit shot attempts, so he was going off. Bad whistle increase that gave up the scramble. Yep, another bad for Toronto. That was a great. Swayman was on his side. He was blocking everything. All the players were growling up. I thought it was going in. I thought they were sneaking it under him. He pressed his body to the ground. Great work, Swayman. However, he did not hold the puck, and they blew the whistle. So another call for the Bruins. But then obviously Matthew Nyes in overtime. I don't blame anyone on that. People blame Grizzlick on that. I don't have any problem with Grizzly being in the lineup as of right now. It's just that the Bees don't have enough time to work on their chemistry because there's so many moves. So I have no problem with you individually right now, Grizzly, even though we have our differences. Um, just stick with what you had. Stick with what got you 3 out of 4 wins. Enough said. And now Matthews, we'll see if he comes back Thursday. This was our chance. They didn't have Matthews. And obviously, missing your star player is a lot different in NHL than it is NBA. So I'm not really like mad. Like, well, how'd you lose to a Matthews this league? Now, if we lose the series and Matthews doesn't play another game, then I might have this. I might have to say that. But for one game, I'm not saying that. However, I will say Matthews being out, you being at home, up 3-1, you missed an opportunity. What do I need to see from the Bruins? I need them to come out. I think they're going to come out swinging a lot more in Game 6 because they're going to realize, wait a minute, I saw the script last year. Unfortunately, the ball is kind of no, it's still in our court. It really is because we do have the series lead, but the ball is moving for Toronto. It's a shift in momentum for them. We need to change that. We need to stop that. I think that the Bruins will be able to yell at each other, hold each other accountable, and come out better on Thursday. Will we win that game though? We got to figure out Wall. So me saying we're going to be better on Thursday does not mean we're going to win Thursday. It means I expect a better effort from this group, especially after what happened last year. And if we blow a 3-1 lead again, well then I will be a full-time Ducks fan next year, which is arguably worse. But let's move on to the Canes and the Islanders game. Very quick paced game to start. Teravine in less than like 2 minutes in, or maybe less than 3 minutes, he had no space to work with on Varlamov. Gets it in that shoulder pull separation, gets right or post, I should say. So good aim from Teravine and great shot. Can't really blame Varlamov for that. However, they pulled the Capitals, and I'm sorry, the Islanders pulled the Capitals and took a penalty immediately after the goal and let in another. And it was a beauty from Mr. Stikov. He scores. I think that was his. Yep, that was his first goal of the playoffs. Aho with a great screen on that, and a great shot from Andrei Svechnikov. He was really, really well this game. I think he's been pretty quiet, especially since his ACL injury. Svechnikov hasn't been the same. I did see him get a goal, Michigan in person, so Bruins lost that game. But still, I was cheering. I was cheering. That put us down 1-0, and I was cheering because I was like, ah, Svech got Michigan. Let's go. I saw it. Let's go. But yes, I would love to see Vetch wake up. I would love to see him get the Conn Smythe wore the Canes to win the finals. I don't think he is, but that'd be so nice. Then right after that, Kotkaniemi hits the post, and Kyle McLean, odd man rush, almost gets it in. Freddie with a great sliding save. So already 2-0, and it's really, really close. And then on the power play, Mike Riley. So I work for the P Bruins. Mike Riley was down there for a while. He got a hat trick one night. I swear, yes, defenseman. He got a hat trick, and this is why. This is why he's working really well with the Islanders. Shot from the point with good aim, top shelf. Mike Riley is not a bad defenseman. I think he has proven that over the course of this year with the Islanders. Obviously, last year he had some friggin' stiff competition on a team that was 65-17, but Mike Riley is still a very good defenseman, and they got him off waivers. So good pickup by the Islanders and a great screen from Horvat on that goal. And then what was it? A few minutes, maybe some time had passed, and the Canes pressure again, and Alex Romanov gets called for a hand on the puck in the crease, and we know what that means. That means penalty shot. And who else would they choose other than slow ass Kuznetsov? And he scores, of course. Why would he not score? I think they were robbed of Kuznetsov scoring in a shootout in the regular season once they got him, which everyone was looking forward to, honestly, myself included. But he got it done in the playoffs, which I think they they probably were like, Romanov, we need to see a Kuznetsov shootout goal. So you gotta hold that puck for us, please. But anyways. 24 to 21 to 4 shots for Canes in that period, so it was awful for them. Horvat over the course of the rest of the game and even in the first, had a great game. There were a couple instances where he was like passing to himself. He kicks the puck onto his own stick. He got 5 shots on goal. That led the Islanders, I'm pretty sure. So good work from him. However, he was not the one who scored the next goal. That would be a great triangle pass sequence from Palmieri to Pulock to Brock and Nelson. They were skating in triangle formation and passed between the three of them, and Nelson with the release. And then right after that, they tied it up. Once again, too much puck movement for Freddie Anderson to keep track of and handle. Freddie ends up actually falling, trying to follow this puck, and Cizikas has an empty net to shoot at in the slot. So what can we take away from the Canes about this? They need to cut down passing lanes. The passing for the Islanders, I get they were really good at passing, but it was way too efficient, way too easy for them to get away with doing this. And that's what the Canes should be working on, in my opinion. I think they weren't that bad at face-off this game like they were the other game. The Bruins, I forgot to bring up Bruins face-offs, were, 22% in the first? Good job, guys. But the Canes need to work on that. Obviously, they have some time now. They wouldn't have as much time, however, if Pajot didn't miss the. Yeah, okay. Because it was Shea bringing it in, and he passes across the ice to Drury. Pajot almost gets a stick on it. He just misses, and Drury scores. I think this is the first negative thing I've brought up about the Lee Pajot and Engvall line, and it comes up at the worst time. I think, did that tie it? I think that tied it for the Canes pretty early on in the third. Oh no, that was the lead. That was to get the lead. Because then guess what? They did it again. They were like, oh, we allowed the Canes to score in 9 seconds, which is a franchise record. Ah, Let's do 8. Varlamov caught behind his net. Nason scores. Nason's having a great playoffs. Obviously, this one was kind of handed to him, though. Unacceptable from Varlamov, a goalie I stand up for all the time, but yeah, that was crazy. And I think it was right after this that Lee got in. Anders Lee crashed into Anderson, and he got into it with D'Angelo and Anderson both tackling him, which was you love to see Anderson or any goalie get into a scuffle like that. It's pretty funny. Um, D'Angelo, so I was made aware. I didn't see anything happen. I was made aware he got injured this game. Might be out long term with ribs. So who do we get on defense? I'm not sure who else they have sitting there on the bench. I'm not sure if they're hoping that Pesci will be back for the second round, so maybe this won't even matter were D'Angelo to be hurt. Or maybe he doesn't have any broken ribs and he's fine. Or maybe he's a hockey player and powers through it, couldn't be in the NBA. But anyways, Seth Jarvis gets the empty netter. Um, this was not a good effort from the Islanders. 14 hits from the entire team, which, if you add up Stahl, Svech, and Jarvis's hits, is exactly the same. His is also 14. So Carolina was the better team significantly in this. Martinuk and D'Angelo were the only players with no shots on goal. So all the Canes came out shooting. Svechnikov had 6. Obviously, like I said, Svechnikov had a great game. Um, Canes wanted it more. Canes, simply put, and one too many mistakes from the Islanders, such as the Pajot missed deflection and Varlamov. Well, I don't gotta say it. So where does this leave the New York Islanders? Let's talk about UFA's Clutterbuck. I don't think he's back. Martin, I don't think he's back. 2 huge losses for this team. They've been there for as long as I can remember. They're old now, though. I don't think they have the same gusto in them. Clutterbuck's over 1,000 games. I think Martin might be too. Mike Riley's expiring as well. I would take Mike Riley back. I would re-sign Riley. Um, Sebastian Aho, no, let him go. Send him to the Canes or something to be funny. Bertuzzo, he felt like a rental, as good as he played, especially in Game 4. Yeah, out of those guys, I would just re-sign Mike Riley. I'm not sure if they would, but I think they should. He was very good on their power play this year, so good job, Islanders, on that. Clutterbuck, I don't know how big his contract is, but I feel like they're giving up a big contract just because of how long ago he was signed with them. So hopefully they'll have some money in the offseason to do more things. RFA's Kyle McLean, I think you keep him. He looked very, very good this series. Oliver Wahlstrom, I think you let him go. Another player who's been around forever. I think he was injured for this series. He definitely had to have been. I don't think they would have scratched him because of his veteran presence and how vital he was to the team to go to those 2 conference finals. He was great for them. And Simon Holmstrom, I think you let Holmstrom go. So out of all of those free agents, how many do I see? I see 8. I think you keep just Mike Riley and Kyle McLean. You need an identity change in New York. You have had the same team for so long, and it was okay when you guys were making the conference finals, but you're not anymore. You're not up and on the rise. You're down on the downfall. So this is when you need to change it up and also make my life a little bit easier on the immaculate grid because it's hard when you have the same goddamn players every single year. But yep, that is all said and done for the New York Islanders. Fell short again. I think we all knew they were going to, but Canes in 5, like I said, like I predicted. So good job, me. And now they're facing the New York Rangers. Um, whew, it's gonna be a hell of a series. It really is gonna be an intense series, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Let me just say 4 teams that have advanced, and I was right on the money with them advancing in my bracket. Maybe not in the amount of games played, but reasonably close. So listen to me. I guess I know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's see. All right, the Colorado game. Let me just start by saying I got so mad when Parisi got injured and so happy when he came back. We want this cup for Parisi. He's one of the only reasons that I wouldn't mind Colorado winning a cup this year. Obviously, they won it 2 years ago. Parisi, Middlestat, I'd like to see it for these new guys. Also, Kale. We like Kale McCarr. However, we don't like them starting Helichoke. 5.22 goals allowed average this year in the playoffs. They don't learn. They do not learn. They did not learn from the Bruins. Rick Bowness, you are going to be under heavy fire. Winning one game convincingly and then losing the next four. I don't know how good your future looks in terms of that. Obviously, you had a great year this year. You dominated Colorado in the regular season. However, that does not matter if you do this in the playoffs. So, bonus, look out for your job, in my opinion. Um, Colorado, at the beginning of the game, it was kind of rough for them. They were unable to contain Winnipeg's drive in the beginning. Um, Connor gets credited with a goal that Lehkonen actually put into his own net. Don't worry, we'll see how that ages. But after that, they they go off. It ends up being 8-2 on shots for Colorado. Hellebuck has a great save on Colton. Colton was right there. It was lying in the crease, and Hellebuck dove for it before Colton had a chance to react. And I think Colton saw it first. So good job by Hellebuck. Um, and then Valerie Nikushkin for his seventh. I told you this man is underrated. I said it. I said it. And guess what? He leads the league in playoff goals. He's got 7 on a team with Nathan McKinnon. So, yeah, Nikushkin, you're good. But other than that, great puck movement by the Avs before that goal. He owns Hellebuck. So do the Avalanche. Apparently, the Avalanche were shooting this puck from everywhere though, whether it be on the blue line, up close, anywhere. It just goes to show you they thought they could win this game with a leaky goal mentality. Just goes to show what they think of Hellebuck. Obviously, they were going for tips on these, but I mean, they were shooting virtually everything. And then finally, Yakov Trenin does something. Once again, I don't know why the Predators got rid of him. He would be very nice for them right now. They were in a playoff spot at the deadline and got rid of Trenin, I think, to make room for Bavillier. I don't think it was that much of an upgrade. Definitely didn't at the time. I think he's a little closer now, but definitely didn't think it was an upgrade at the time. Trenin gets his first goal of the series off of his own rebound up close. It was a great job by Trenin to track down that puck after he had initially shot it. Not an easy goal by any stretch of the imagination. Not an easy save for Hellebuck, but Trenin gets it done. Good for him. He is a talented player that has been pretty quiet this series. And that is answered from exactly what I've been saying we need from Josh Morrissey. Great goals, snipe off the beginning of the power play from the blue line. Good job, Morrissey. You inherited your inner Nick Schmidt. Just kidding. And while we're talking about Winnipeg defense, let's get to that other own goal that I referred to earlier. Neil Pionk, you will not be able to sleep. It's not your fault you lost the series. You were down 3-1. Hellebuck has been awful. Bad coaching decisions from Rick Bowness. But damn, if you that I could say that a million times, and that own goal was so bad that you'll never listen to me. Terrible, terrible work from Pionk. For the rest of the game, he was noticeable on every shift. Though he was trying to make up for it, hard hitting, slap shotting. There were some bullets from Pionk. Not all of them on net, but you could tell that one really pissed him off. He has been a questionable defenseman, in my opinion, in Winnipeg over the last few years, and this was just awful. And then the Jets get the puck back. Lowry with a great scoring chance, rushing past I forget who on the Colorado D, and then it ends up in the slot, and Nino Niederreiter almost banks it in again. Georgiev, you have been fired since I told you you sucked. You make me look like an asshole, but you know, good for you, I guess. I really hope Georgiev doesn't. Because Aiden Hill won the last Stanley Cup. The year before that, Darcy Kemper. Please bring in somebody who's worthy of winning a cup. I mean, Georgiev's doing great, okay? But is he a Stanley Cup goalie? No, 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 no. Is Kemper? No. Is Aiden Hill? Debatable. But yeah, right place, right time for those guys. I don't know. It is a team effort. I understand. I'm just saying I would never expect Aiden Hill, Georgiev, or Kemper to their name on the cup. Just saying. It also would take away a lot from Kemper if the Avs were to win it again with another goalie like right after. Let's talk about the Avs penalty killing though. It could use work. Winnipeg had some great chances. Again, Monahan in the slot. Great save from Gorgiev. Um, and then Toffoli clutch time goal. Toffoli with a snipe. This is what they brought him in for. That's his only second goal of the series, so maybe a little more would have been nicer to Toffoli, but great goal. And good timing for that goal. However, Colorado kept using that let's shoot it wherever, whenever mentality. Devin Taves from the point, tipped by Mikko Rantanen for his first. Last year, Rantanen was the one instead of Nikushkin with 7 goals. Probably because Nikushkin, I don't even think he played last year's playoffs. But Rantanen with his first goal, like I said, last year he had 7. So slow start for Mikko. McKinnon, he's been doing decent, but also in terms of what we expect from Nathan McKinnon, a slow start just goes to show anyone, anywhere, anytime. But I'm pretty sure that gave them that did give Colorado the lead. And then let me see. Yeah, the next note I have is Rantanen from McKinnon. It was another one of those goals where the defense were on the inside, on the interiors. McKinnon had it and was still able to somehow pass it to Rantanen. I think in this case, Rantanen was able to get a little ahead from the defense to get that puck on the net and in, but defense needs to be better there, and so does Hellebuck, allowing. I don't think he allowed under 5 goals this whole series. Hellebuck, learn Chinese. You'll only be don't maybe learn partly Chinese because you're only going to be sent there in May in late April. But what a fall apart by this guy, man. I can't believe it. And then in clutch time, Georgiev with some excellent saves. The Jets were really pressuring, especially Adam Lowry. I feel bad for the guy. But Georgiev gets it done. 33 saves on 36 shots, so great game from him again. McKinnon had 7 shots this game. Wood and Gerard, I'm sorry, Wood, I didn't write the number. Wood had a lot as well, though. Gerard had 6 blocks, so good work from the defense for Colorado. Obviously, McCarr did his thing. Taves with a key assist for the game winner, and Gerard with 6 blocks. So a lot of show up from those guys. Sean Walker also had a decent game, I think, but he has unanimously been the worst addition for the Avalanche. Kyle Connor really wanted this one. 6 shots for him. Nino and Morrissey with 5. And let's look at some free agents. I forgot to do this. So what comes next for Winnipeg? They have Ehlers and I followed for 1 more year. Toffoli is going to be a free agent. I think he's gone, unfortunately. Monahan, he's gone. As much as I love my guy. Perfetti, I think they keep Perfetti. I think that would be it's on a low contract, I'd say, though. I don't think you need to go throwing out your money on Perfetti. And then Colin Miller, Brendan Dillon, Dylan DeMello, they're all gone. Um, Logan Stanley, who really cares. I think Winnipeg needs to make some sizable trades this offseason. They have shown time and time again they can get to the race but not finish it, not even come in the top. I think they came in the top 4 once. I mean, it's just rough sledding there in Winnipeg. Get it because Canada. But I don't know who you move. Who do you move? Do you move Shifley? Do you? I don't think you move Connor. Maybe you move Shifley. That might be the move. I'm not sure. Even though he had a great playoffs, you need some other spark. You need something here to get your team going. I think you keep your defense pretty compact. I think the only couple of safe players are Connor and Morrissey. Other than that, it could be a free for all. Do you get rid of Ehlers? I think we're going to see some Winnipeg trades this offseason, and I think they are all for the most part going to be who cares? At this point, like, oh man, it thinks we lost this player, but this player did not come through for us in the playoffs, kind of deal. But it'll be rough to see Toffoli and Monahan go, especially Toffoli. He did have a couple of good playoff goals. Monahan was great when he got there, then died down. Not too much playoff experience for Monahan. I think he had a couple when I'm sorry, Calgary was good. He had a bit, but I don't think they ever made any wins. So there's that. Now back to the Nashville series. Great goaltending again. Saros versus Shilovs. Who would have thought? Um, Saros had a great early save on Susi. There was so much traffic, and Susi from one of the circles gets it on net. Hughes looked back to his old self, like his Norris self, creating lots of chances, getting it on net. Always seemed to be was in the attacking zone when I would hear his name or see him on the ice. Um, and then Shilovs. There was one thing I will say about the Vancouver defense was they did allow a lot of not shorthanded, odd man rushes. Jankowski, a couple of them actually for Jankowski, and was it Sherwood or was it Evangelista? I forget. Evangelista has been everywhere this series, just only put in the net once or twice. But he's had a presence for sure. But she loves great on those chances, and then I remember he ate this friggin' Yossi's slap shot off the face off. And I mean, there's not too many other players I would less rather take a slapper from than Roman Yossi. And this third string goalie comes in and just does it like that. So good work, Shilovs, on that front. Um, Canucks again on shots in the second, only four. Other than that, they looked pretty fine. I've been crapping on the Canucks a lot for their offense. I felt like every line had their chances this game. Joshua was out there again doing decent. He's been pretty invisible since game one. Like I said, it's been the Miller and Besser show, but all around decent work from the Canucks in terms of what lines were creating chances. Once again, we almost had a repeat. Garland behind the net being pressured. Backhander pass for Elias Lindholm in front of the net. Saros is the wiser to this one. He gets it. He's not making the same mistake twice. If that went in, Jesus H Christ. um, and then Pedersen had a great chance. Robbie Fabro dives to stop it. I think he almost took that in the face. So life on the line to stop that from Pedersen, keep him off the score sheet. I don't even think my guy has an assist. Maybe he does. Definitely doesn't have a goal yet, but not for a lack of trying at this point. Obviously, early on in the series, Pedersen just. Um, and then Nikita Zadorov, basically end to end, finally beats Soros right over his shoulder or between him and the post. 1-0. This is pretty early in the third. And obviously, we are keeping a tight eye on how Zadorov and Bavelier do in this series. As I said, I think I said it game one, so it's been a while, so I'll repeat myself. Zadorov is only there because they offloaded Bavilier. They offloaded Bavilier to get Zadorov. They sent him to Chicago, who in turn sent him to Nashville. So whether Zadorov or Bavilier help their team win in this series will be actually a pretty dang big deal in terms of how that looks for the GM for Vancouver. So Zadorov has been, in my opinion, quieter than Bavilier so far this series, but this was a great goal. Bavilier didn't have a great game, so Zadorov wins this battle. We'll see if the Canucks are able to pull it out in six, if Zadorov is a factor. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, yep. And then I think it was on the power play. I forget the Yossi goal. So Yossi gets it on net. Sheilov isn't able to cover it, so it is loose. So I can't fully blame this on Teddy Bluger. However, the reason it did go in was because Bluger crashed into Sheilov to try to stop it. So bad play by Bluger. Um, Sheilov's I think he could have held it down better, but obviously we're talking a third string goalie here, so nothing. I don't blame him too much for much of anything. For the position he's in, I mean, he's playing better than hell. Oh, he's playing so much better than so much better than Hellebuck. Um, but and then what was a goaltending battle unfortunately ends in the worst way for Shilovs. A pretty simple save to have. It was tight to the post from Alex Carrier from the blue line, so great aim from him. But Shilovs tried. He saw it. He tried to make the kick save and was unable to. I think it went probably under his pad into the net. And that was all the Predators forced game 6 in Nashville. This was a crazy physical game. Sherwood was everywhere, all over the Canucks, and his hits are hard. He had 9 hits, and he was very noticeable with them. Miller had 7. It was a great back and forth game. There was really no faults I can give the Canucks other than too many odd man rushes. Luckily, all of those were saved by Shelovs, so unable to completely get on them for that. And also, their defense had some great other plays. Like I said, Zadorov scored, Susie with a great chance, and Quinn Hughes was good tonight. So it's hard to it's hard to really get on their defense for allowing those things to happen. However, especially with Shelov's making the saves. However, they happened and we can't ignore that. So that's something that they're going to have to work on. Other than that, I think that's pretty much a wrap for today. The Islanders are gone. The Jets are gone. I think someone's tenure and long tenure in those places is done. Like I said, I think I think Palmieri's out of there. I'm not Palmieri. What the hell? I think I think Clutterbuck is out of there. I mean, he's not. It's not going to make too much of a difference just because of how long he's been there and how old he's gotten. But it's going to be rough. I think they're gonna have to move either Ehlers or Scheifele or someone. I think Ehlers might be the odd man out here. Actually, now that I think about it a little more, I'm looking, and it actually would appear that Brossoit is a free agent after this season. So they gotta sign Brossoit, right? They gotta sign Brossoit. I think it would be such a mistake by Winnipeg to not sign Brossoit, especially after seeing that. I think you need to in this situation. Um, and okay, the goalies are because I always forget to look at goalies. Goalies are safe in on Long Island. I think you keep both goalies on Long Island. But yeah, unfortunate for those two teams, but fortunate for me to have to cover less hockey. So that is that. Tonight, how many games do we got? I know we only got 2 NBA. Let's see if they spare me on hockey as well, 2 or 3. Preferably 2. We only got 2 tonight. Okay. Ooh, Stars at 7:30. Interesting. But that is all. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like or a comment or subscribe or all 3. I would love to see it. And I will talk to you tomorrow.